5 things your cat loves. You're finally doing right. Your cat has been judging you for years, silently, from across the room, with that face. And today, we're going to talk about the 5 things you're actually doing right. Because, yes, sometimes you get it right, and your cat deserves to know you tried. Okay, so let me paint you a picture. You come home after a long day, you open the door, your cat looks at you like you just interrupted a very important meeting. You try to pet it, it walks away, you put down food, it sniffs it and leaves. You're starting to think your cat hates you. But here's the thing, your cat doesn't hate you. It just has very specific standards. Very, very specific standards. And somewhere along the way, you started meeting some of them. Maybe by accident, maybe on purpose. It doesn't matter. What matters is that your cat has noticed, and we're going to break down exactly what you've been doing right, and why your cat is secretly obsessed with you because of it. This is the stuff cat behavior experts actually talk about, but nobody really explains in a way that makes sense. So let's get into it. Number 1, you let it come to you. This one sounds so simple, but so many people get it wrong. When a cat walks into the room, most people immediately reach out, make a bunch of noise, and try to grab it like it's a stuffed animal. And then they wonder why the cat runs away. But if you've been the kind of person who just sits there and waits, you legend. You absolute legend. Cats are not dogs. They don't run to you because they love pressure. They come to you when they decide it's time. And every single time you've resisted the urge to reach out first and just let your cat sniff your hand, rub against your leg, or park itself on your lap, you were doing exactly what your cat needed. In cat language, letting them come to you means you're not a threat. It means you're safe. And safe is basically the highest compliment a cat can give you. Cats have a whole system for trust, and it works on their timeline, not yours. The moment you respect that, you go from that human who lives here to that human I actually like. And look, some of you figured this out by accident because you were too tired to move. Your cat doesn't know that. To your cat, you are a patient, calm, respectful presence. You're basically a yoga instructor in their eyes. Number 2, you give it high places to hang out. If you've ever put a cat tree in your house or noticed your cat chilling on top of the fridge, on a shelf, on top of your cabinets, and instead of moving it, you just let it be up there, you're doing something really good. Cats are wired to want height. In the wild, being up high means you can see everything coming. Predators, threats, weird dogs, you name it. Even your indoor cat, who has never seen a wild animal in its life, still carries that instinct. When you give your cat high spaces, whether it's a cat tree, a cleared-off shelf, a window perch, you're giving it control. And cats need control the way you need Wi-Fi. It's not optional for them. High places also mean your cat can watch what's happening without having to be in the middle of it. Your cat isn't antisocial, it's observing. There's a difference. And every time you've walked into a room, looked up, and seen your cat staring down at you from somewhere ridiculous, that's a cat who feels safe in their home. If your cat doesn't have a lot of vertical space right now, that's an easy fix. A basic cat tree, a cleared windowsill, even a tall bookshelf with some space on top. Any of that counts. And your cat will use it immediately and act like it was always theirs, because in their mind, it was. Number 3, you play with it the right way. Here's where a lot of people go wrong. They take a toy and they just wiggle it in their cat's face. The cat looks at it for a second, looks away, and the person gives up and says their cat doesn't like toys. But if you figured out the move, which is making the toy act like prey, your cat probably goes absolutely insane for it, and you've been wondering why it works so well. The answer is that cats are hunters. Every time they stalk, chase, and pounce on a toy, they're running through the whole hunting sequence their brain is built for. And when you move a toy the right way, slowly at first, then fast, then hiding it under something, then making it escape, you're triggering that whole sequence. It's not just fun for them, it's mentally and physically necessary.
Cats that don't get that kind of play get bored, stressed, or start doing things like knocking your stuff off tables at 3 a.m. Not because they're mean, because they need to hunt something, and you didn't give them anything to hunt. If you've been doing play sessions with your cat, even just 10 or 15 minutes a day, you're doing one of the best things you can do for their mental health. And they love you for it, even if they immediately act like it never happened once you stop.
Number 4, you don't make it do things it doesn't want to do. This one is huge and so overlooked. Think about how many times you've had a cat on your lap. It got up to leave and you just let it go. Or your cat was somewhere, clearly not in the mood, and instead of forcing the interaction, you just backed off. That's not you being cold. That's you being the perfect cat owner. Cats have a very strong sense of when something feels forced, and they remember it. Every single time you held a cat down just to cuddle it a little longer, the cat filed that away. Every time you let it leave when it wanted to leave, the cat filed that away too. The cats that choose to spend the most time with their owners are almost always owned by people who never force them to do anything. It sounds backwards, but it's completely true. The less you chase the attention, the more you get it. This is why some people say their cat follows them everywhere, and other people say their cat hides. It's usually not about the cat's personality. It's about whether the cat has learned they can trust you to respect their choices. If you've been the kind of person who lets their cat leave without making it weird, congratulations. Your cat has a higher opinion of you than you probably think.
Number 5, you talk to it like it understands. Look, I know how this sounds, but stay with me. A lot of people feel embarrassed about talking to their cats, like it's silly or weird. But what they don't realize is that your cat genuinely pays attention to your tone of voice. They don't know what the words mean, but they read your energy like a book. When you talk to your cat in a calm, soft voice, whether you're narrating your day, asking it what it's doing, telling it you'll be right back, your cat registers that as non-threatening, warm, and safe. It actually builds a connection. Studies have found that cats respond more to their owners' voices than to strangers, even when the content of what's being said is exactly the same. Your cat knows your voice, and your voice means home. So if you've ever had a full conversation with your cat about what you want for dinner, or explained to it why you were late, or just made little sounds at it when it made sounds at you, that's called social bonding, and your cat is into it. The people who never talk to their cats aren't necessarily doing anything wrong, but the people who do, their cats are more comfortable around them, more responsive, more bonded. You're not weird for doing it. You're actually kind of a great cat owner.
So that's 5 things your cat genuinely loves. And now you know you've been doing at least some of them right this whole time. You let it come to you, you gave it places to be up high, you played with it properly, you respected when it wanted space, and you talked to it like it matters. Which it does, very much. Your cat knows this. They're just not going to say it because they're a cat and that's not how they work. But somewhere in that small, judgmental, perfect little head of theirs, they're glad you're their human. If you want to understand your cat even more, watch the next video. You'll see why your cat does some of the weirdest things, and actually, it all makes perfect sense.